It was the late 70s, and me and a couple of friends had been taking a walk around our neighborhood. There was nothing unusual about it, just a typical hot summer night in Detroit. We were coming up close to the corner of our block when we saw a cluster of people standing in the grass there. It was about 25 to 35 people, kids and adults, but we didn't think there was anything unusual about it. When we got closer, we noticed that everybody's attention was focused on a thing that was up in the sky. And that's when me and my friends looked up. There was an aircraft hovering in one spot and changing colors, all sorts of colors. Then it started moving from side to side. It would move to the right like 100 to 200 yards, then it would move right back to where it was. There was no engine noise, there was no sound, there was no propellers, nothing like that. It looked like a little car in the sky. It stayed perfectly level, as though it was on the ground. There was no drifting up and down, nothing like that. It stayed perfectly level. So we all stood out there watching it for maybe 10 minutes before it changed its pattern. The spot it was sitting in was over a gas station. It then moved to an area that was over a restaurant. This is the first area that it hovered around as it sort of moved from side to side. This is not the original restaurant that was there back when all of this happened, but this is the same building, and the object moved over the top of this building, and it went back and forth in the same kind of way over the top of this building. So it went to the left and then back to where it was, and it hovered over this building. After doing that, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, it then went back to the spot over the gas station to where it was originally. By the way, the object was not a round ball. It wasn't a circle at all. I'm just using that to represent where the object lingered. To give you an idea of where the object lingered in relation to where we were standing and watching it, I'm going to go ahead and play this video that traces the steps to where we were all standing. One of the more fascinating things that the object did while lingering in this area, and it hung out here somewhere around an hour, maybe hour and a half to 2 hours. It flew from where it was to hover over a school. It flew in a straight line. Silent, you didn't hear anything. And it took maybe 2 seconds for it to get over the school. This is the distance right now. This video is now going to where it was. It went down to where the school is. It flew back and forth over the school and then came back to where it originally was. And as I said, this video now is going down to where it was hovering. It's approximately a mile from where it was. Maybe not, and maybe like 2/3 of a mile or 3/4 of a mile. Any of you in Detroit who knows the exact distance from Linwood and the freeway to Livernois and the freeway, you can chime in and tell me the exact distance, but I approximated at about a mile. And the school is right here on the other side of this bridge. This is the school. It flew to this school in 2 seconds, and after it hovered for a while, it flew back to where it originally was in 2 seconds. Folks, I know this is not the most exciting video in the world, but listen, I didn't post this to be entertainment. I posted this because this thing has got to be documented. And out of all of us out here that saw this thing all those years ago, it just surprises me that there was never any documentation about what happened here. And the stuff I've showed you so far is not even the most fascinating part about what happened. I didn't expect this video to be so long, so I'm going to have to do a part 2 to talk about the real exciting part of this. But there's one thing I do want to mention here. This thing reacted to what we were thinking. One of the girls had suggested to this thing that it come closer so we can get a better look at it. And so it started coming closer and she started screaming. And when she screamed, it went back to where it was. Okay, so I now want to get into the more fascinating part of this. So I'm going to end this part 1 and I'm going to go ahead and create a part 2 on this. Any of you fellow Detroiters who are familiar with this thing, chime in. I'd love to hear from you.